The Yeren Dinanthropoides chinensis is China's Bigfoot, variously referred to as the Yeh Ren, Chinese Wildman or man monkey. The Yeren is a mysterious primate living in the mountains of China, with most of the sightings coming from the remote Hubei province. It has reddish-brown hair, though very rare. Sighting of white Yeren have been seen. This may indicate either albinism or elderly members of the species, and a large jaw. It is 6 to 8 feet tall. In a few extreme cases they were reported to up to 12 feet tall, and is generally friendly but reserved around humans. According to Xinhua, over 400 people have reported seeing the Yeren. The Chinese government has searched China to find the Yeren. Many footprints and hair traces have been found. However, much like the Yeti or Sasquatch, the species has never been confirmed by scientists and remains in the realm of legend and cryptozoology. Despite its size, it is said to be less robust and stocky than its other relatives like Sasquatch. Descriptions: none of the witnesses typically report the creatures to be covered in reddish-colored hair. Some white specimens have also been sighted. Their height is estimated to range from 6 to 8 feet, although some colossal examples allegedly in excess of 12 feet tall have been reported. The Yeren has a head shape more similar to humans than other apes, unlike the Sasquatch, with a sunken face, protruding lips covering large, horse-like teeth and a bulbous nose with upturned nostrils. Overall, it is smaller than the American Bigfoot. Like Bigfoot, the Yeren is peaceful and will generally quietly walk away when encountering people in the Zhejiang province. Though the Yeren are generally thought of as non-violent creatures, a news article surfaced in 1980 detailing the story of a woman who claimed to have been kidnapped by one. She spent 27 days in the Hubei province and was at some point impregnated by the anomalous simian. The offspring died at age 22, 20 years before the article was released, and, astonishingly enough, a later analysis of his bones supposedly showed characteristics of both man and ape. Explanations: cryptozoologists have drawn a link between the Yeren and the supposedly extinct Ponga gigantopithecus, which formerly inhabited the general region. Another theory is that the Yeren is a misidentification of the endangered gibbon ape. It has also been suggested that the Yeren is actually a new species of orangutan, one that is ground-dwelling, bipedal and native to mainland Asia instead of Borneo or Sumatra. Another theory is that the Yeren and possibly other similar cryptids such as the Yeti and Sasquatch are closely related to humans. Some speculate they are a species of hominin like Homo erectus, Homo neanderthalensis, Australopithecus afarensis, or Paranthropus boisei. Sightings: the Wildman has been a part of the folklore of southern and central China for centuries. Apparently ancient Chinese literary works and folk legends include references to big hairy man-like creatures which live in the vast forests of the Kunling Basin Shenangjia, a mountain region of central China, northwest Hubei province. 2,000 years ago, during the Warring States period Chu Yuan, 340 to 278 BC, the statesman poet of the state of Chu, referred in his verse to mountain ogres. His home was significantly just south of Shenangjia, in what is today the Zigi County of Hubei province. In Tang Dynasty times, AD 6i8907, the historian Li Yanshou in his Southern History describes a band of hairy men in the region of modern Jiangling County, also in Hubei. Later still, the Qing Dynasty poet Yuan Mei, 1716-98, in his book New Rhythms tells of the existence of a creature described as monkey-like yet not a monkey in southwestern Shanxi province, Xianing County. The first scientific observation of a Chinese Yeti was made in 940 by Wang Zelen, a biologist graduated from the Faculty of Biology at Chicago. Around September or October, we were traveling from Baoji to Tianshui via Jiangluo City. Our car was between Jiangluo City and Nanyang Plain when we suddenly heard gunshots ahead of us. When the car reached the crowd that surrounded the gunman, all of us got down to satisfy our curiosity. We could see that the Wildman was already shot dead and laid on the roadside. The body was still supple and the stature very tall, approximately 2 meters. The whole body was covered with a coat of thick grayish-red hair which was very dense and approximately anakan long. Since it was lying face down, the more inquisitive of the passengers turned the body over to have a better look. It turned out to be a mother with a large pair of breasts, the nipples being very red as if it had recently given birth. The hair on the face was shorter. The face was narrow with deep-set eyes, while the cheekbones and lips jutted out. The scalp hair was roughly 1 chi long and untidy. The appearance was very similar to the plaster model of a female Peking man, the Chinese Homo erectus. However, its hair seemed to be longer and thicker than that of the ape-man model. It was ugly because of the protruding lips. According to the locals, there were 2 of them, probably one male and the other female. They had been in that area for over a month. The wild men had great strength, frequently stood erect and were very tall. They were brisk in walking and could move as rapidly uphill as on the plain. As such, ordinary folks could not catch up with them. They did not have a language and could only howl. In 1940, biologist Wang Sulin claimed to examine the corpse of a wildman that had been killed in the Gansu region. He said it was a female specimen over 6 feet tall, with striking features that appeared to be a cross between ape and human. 1950. Geologist Fan Jinquan in 1950 reported seeing wild men live in the flesh, a pair that he construed as mother and son, in the forests of the Shanxi province. 1960. In 1961, a team of road builders allegedly killed a female Yeren in the forests of Zishuangbana. By the time officials from the Chinese Academy of Sciences investigate, the body had disappeared. The scientists' investigation concluded that the creature, which was described as only 4 feet tall, had been an ordinary gibbon. But 20 years later, a journalist who had been involved in the investigation came forward to claim that the creature killed was no gibbon, but an unknown animal of human shape. 1970. On May 14, 1976, 6 cadres from the Shenanjia forestry region were driving along the highway near Chunchui, a village between Fengxian County and Shenanjia, when they came across a strange tailless creature covered in reddish fur, illuminated in the headlamps of the car. This initiated a great degree of public interest, people writing in to report other sightings, and groups of scientists and the army mounting expeditions into the forest. A massive expedition of more than 100 members, including scientists, photographers, and special infiltration teams of soldiers with rifles, tranquilizer dart guns, tape recorders, and hunting dogs, worked in the area during 1976 and 1977, interviewing hundreds of people. Together with Army scouts and commune members, the team organized several large searches, but, as is usual with such expeditions, they found nothing definite. At one point, the expedition search party moved near to one of the creatures. Unfortunately, before the beast could be captured, an anxious soldier accidentally shot himself in the leg. The shot brought expedition members scurrying in from all directions and presumably frightened the creature away. 1980 kidnapping headlines. A curious incident was reported in the Daily Telegraph for December 2, 1980 under the sensational title, "Chinese Child Fathered by Ape Man." The Telegraph's special correspondent in Peking had read in the official daily paper, Guangming, an account of a woman who had disappeared for 27 days in 1939 in a forest area frequented by the wild men of Hubei province. The mountainous area referred to is clearly Shenanjia, and the human interest of the story stems from the fact that the woman claimed she was captured by wild men and later gave birth to a monkey child. The offspring of this dubious union, the so-called monkey child of the headline, died in 1960 aged 21, but its bones, according to the Guangming Daily, have recently been dug up, and examination showed that the child's skeleton had the characteristics of an ape and a man. It is not impossible for orangutans' more evolved relatives of Gigantopithecus to breed with humans. The Russians once attempted an orang-human hybrid army, but the male, Tarzan, died before sperm could be taken. Gigantopithecus would also be closer to humans than orangs.